in action.
And yet they're in Titans telling that frickin' Wally West is fucking shit up.
Yeah, right. It's super. Not only that,
I'm sorry.
he,
I know he's. I know you love him, but Superman is. I'm sorry. He's one of the most hypocritical superheroes
oh, I know.
on the
He
planet.
he he definitely. Well, I think one of the things about him that I like though is that a lot of times they show him being that way, and another character comes in and says, "No, look, Clark, you're being a hypocrite here. You do this," which is kind of like what happened with this droid, Booster Gold's droid. He's like, well, he's a criminal. He should pay the price. We're in his timeline. He should pay the price for being a thief. And I don't want to rescue a thief. And what am I going to do? Break him out of jail? And the droid's like, look, this man was beaten by his father like every day of his life. His father was abusive and put his mother in the hospital. His mother was sick, and the only reason he did any of this was to get medicine to save his mother. And not only that, but I've analyzed the dictates of time, and time itself says that Booster Gold was supposed to have taken this. And he kind of browbeats Clark back a little bit. It's like, no, you have to save Booster Gold and get him out of jail.
Besides Clark, you don't know his mother Martha. What? Martha?
No, his mother's name wasn't Martha, as far as I know. But Superman does go and meet Booster Gold's mother and talk him up like he's a big hero to her, so it makes him look good. So he comes around in the end. Like, Superman's a good guy, and I think I think they make him intentionally hypocritical because he's kind of dopey. I mean, he's a really powerful guy, but he's still learning.
Yeah.
That everything isn't black and white, right and wrong. There's nuance to everything, and he learns from these kind of experiences. So, yeah, he is kind of a dick. I mean, you can go back to when he dumped his own cousin off in an orphanage back in the old days. I mean, Superman's always been kind of like that. He's just been Mr. by the rules no matter what, while he breaks a million rules. And so, I mean, it's kind of part of the character in a way. But I still love Superman. How can you not?
Speaking of his cousin, Supergirl's been going through a rough time. Which is kind of weird because, Superman's doing his thing and Superwoman's a hero in Metropolis. But then Supergirl in her city where she's at, she can't, the DEO, they want her arrested. They want her taken down because I think I mentioned before in the show, because they saw footage that she had kept her father, the cyborg Superman, alive. And they think she's, evil.
Well, New 52 Supergirl's a way more defiant Supergirl than previous versions.
Which this is the same Supergirl, but now she's like... So, the DEO run by Mr. Bones. Mr. Bones has been taking superpowered metahumans and kind of brainwashing them into attacking the city to draw out Supergirl so they can catch her. And he does it again in this issue. Meanwhile, he has agents set up at the school that she goes to try to pinpoint because they have leads.
Why wouldn't Clark intervene in that? Like,
exactly.
I'm Superman, leave my cousin alone.
Exactly. So they unleash a new supervillain during the winter formal or whatever, and Kara's there in her human disguise, and she realized, and the final thing is like, if I change into Supergirl, Kara's life is over. But the last few issues, it's all been about she wants to be this hero that everybody wants her to be, but she can't because the DEO's after her, and her human parents are like, you can have a good life as just Kara, and she's like, I don't want to just be Kara. First of all, I think the storyline's going on.
She was not conducive to being human. She doesn't like. Well, from when I was reading the New 52, she didn't like humans. She refused to learn English. She refused to learn any Earth language. She only spoke Kryptonian, and she thought humans were beneath her and weak, and she didn't like them.
Like I've said before, with Supergirl, I still get it because I like the character. But when they tried to make her more like the TV show Supergirl, which I'm sorry, that show just does not resonate with me. I think it was. I don't like the.
I like it in that CW shit.
The only CW one I'm looking forward to is Constantine. It's the only one I'm looking forward to, which I read. It's not the same Constantine from Justice League Dark. It's the same Constantine from the TV show, and they're continuing those stories only animated, but the animation is the same as Justice League Dark.
As long as they do what they were starting to do with this, because they just brought the Spectre in. That was at least the character that becomes the Spectre. They had brought him in like in the last couple episodes. We still never got the Swamp Thing. They showed the Dr. Fate helmet in the first episode. We never got to Dr. Fate.
Yeah, there was a lot of little things in there. That's the only one I like because Arrow started good, but then when it became more like, oh, well, we couldn't do Batman, so we changed Green Arrow to be Batman. You know?
Yeah, they threw Batman villains at him for like 3 seasons.
I mean, they threw Deadshot at him and Deathstroke, and then there was then the Suicide
Ra's al
Squad.
Ghul's in there.
Ra's al Ghul. It's like, it's literally that's what Arrow was. We couldn't do Batman, so we're making Arrow Batman. You know,
I put on Twitter though not too long ago, like, why can't we get, instead of getting Gifted, why not just a cool X-Men? Why not just the X-Men on TV, like a series? Why not just like, not like the old Adam West, but why not a serious Batman TV series and not like Gotham and some weird offshoot?
Even though Gotham is good. No,
I'm not saying Gotham's bad. I like the. I'm hoping with Gotham that they build up to calling the show Batman eventually and have the kid grow up.
That. He's now like out there on the rooftops in like a makeshift suit. It's not the Batman yet, but he's doing this stuff. I really like that show. It's just with the CW shows, and then it's the same way with Marvel where they try to make the characters look more like the movies, and it just falls flat.
It's like some kind of hip update to something that's already still cool. Yeah, it's still, just call it the X-Men.
I mean,
just
Green Arrow. I got 2 Green Arrows. I've got Batman Green Arrow on the show Arrow, and then I have the wisecracking Arrow that we all know and love.
Yeah, there's nothing beats DC animated for me, and nothing is ever going to beat the animated movies. The DC animated universe is by far captures the feeling of reading the comic books far more than the movies or the TV shows do.
And see, that's why I know Gotham by Gaslight's coming out and everything like that, but I want to know what is the next one in the DC animated universe. Because the last one was the Judas Contract, if I'm not mistaken.
Those are good though. The DC, the Justice League versus Teen Titans and Judas Contract are excellent. If you haven't seen those.
And what I liked is that they connect. Like Judas Contract connects not only with Teen Titans versus Justice League, but it connects all the way back to Batman's Son of the Bat. When they first introduced Damian in the animated universe, it harkens all the way back to that. And I love Batman in this. I love it in him in the DCU animated universe, especially in Justice League Dark, because he was like, you know, he tells the Justice League, you all need to spend more time on the ground than your head in the clouds because they think it's magic. And then he ends up teaming up with all the magic people, and then you have Swamp Thing, you have Etrigan the Demon. I mean, that's what I loved about it. I love those characters. Yeah. And Matt Ryan is John Constantine. And anything Matt Ryan is John Constantine.
Yeah, just like physically like a doppelganger for the comic book character. But I think I love Damian Wayne in anything. By the way, I gotta say that I don't know why. I understand why Scott Snyder doesn't like to write him. I get that, but I think that character's great, and I love the animated versions of Damian in all those movies.
Oh yeah.
And I think it was in the comics that when he first was it might have been one of those. I can't remember exactly where I saw it, but there's a part where Damian goes to the Watchtower for the first time. And Bruce takes Damian there, and he meets Superman. I think it's in maybe it's in a Justice League book. I can't remember what book it's in, but he goes to when he meets Superman for the first time. Batman takes Damian to the Watchtower, and they go through the portal thing whenever come out. And when he first meets Superman, he's like, I heard a lot about you. It's nice to meet you, like to Damian, and Damian just says, I thought you'd be taller.
Yeah.
and Bruce and Clark just kind of looks at Bruce and goes, "Chip off the old block, huh?" Yeah. Like perfect.
That's what I do like Damian. I mean, I love all the Robins. Heck, I even like Stephanie Brown for her short time as Robin.
One of the other reasons that made me love Damian too is when he came back, when Bruce finally resurrected him and he came back with like Kryptonian powers, and Bruce had ordered him. That was the part right before he took him to the Watchtower because he wanted to keep an eye on him. That's why he took him.
Right.
But he had ordered Damian back to the mansion or back to the cave, and he was going to go to the Watchtower. Well, he swings around to double check to make sure he did, and he finds Damian is flying over the city with the bat signal held over his head, like, because he's super strong. He's holding and just shining a big spotlight on criminals, going, "Stop!"
Yeah.
Like ordering, and Batman's like, "No, put it down and come here right now."
And that's why I can't wait to see because I know he's not in the Batman title a lot, but
yeah,
we have to
hardly ever see him.
But we have to see Damian and more Damian Catwoman interactions.
Yeah, that was good when you see him, like, you don't see him fighting. You'll see him like in his street clothes, like in that issue when he's just hanging out with Dick Grayson at the gate waiting for Batman to come back out.
And I like I said, I can't wait. Nightwing, they're doing they're Nightwing. Him and Sean are kind of back together, but not back together. That's his Catwoman. It's great. But a lot of books. We're back in 2018, Chief. It is just so fantastic to be back. I'm glad Oliver's feeling better. This is going to be one hell of a year. 2017 was good.
One quick thing.
Yeah.
Detective 972, the Clayface arc is starting. They're starting to wrap it up. Clayface, when he finally got to Cass, she stepped in front of him before the end of it.
Right.
She kind of stopped him, but the victim syndicate still. It's an interesting story. You should go check out. There's a lot of stuff between Clayface working out his crazy shit in his brain and Batman telling him, "No, you can be better." And it's a good story. Sorry to interrupt. We're trying to end the show, and I'm still doing reviews.
It's
but 972.
It's great. We got a lot coming up. This 2017 was a great year for us. It's going to be an even greater 2018. April 6th to the 8th. If you're in the Chicagoland area, come hang out with us at C2E2. We're going to be there.
Yes.
Come on.
And we will be doing. Hopefully, we'll be doing press. If not, we'll still be there. So
we're still waiting on word from that. It should be a couple other weeks, and we should hear back from that. Once again, go follow us on the Stardust app. Get that app. You heard we got a reaction like during the show.
Yes.
Go hang out on Stardust with us. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff on there.
And you will start seeing this week as you will start seeing mine pop up in there too.
Yes. Follow us on Twitter at NRDRG Renegades, Chiefs at Space Chief 75, Facebook.com/NRR Truth Radio. Crystal, you tell us where we are in 2018 because we're still at the same places as we always are.
The Nerd Rage Renegades are on the air every Wednesday on Podbean, Stitcher, Player FM, iTunes, Google Play, and every Thursday on GamingRebellion.com, Filling the Void Podcast Network, and now iHeartRadio.
So with that, Chief, let's go out with a little of that. Let's go out with a little of that new track by the famous rapper Donnell Jackson.
Is that I'm Thick? Is that the new hit one?
That's the new. It's straight fire, Chief.
That's what I heard.
Got a kid craving mama in the kitchen baking, and you spell it with 2 C's. Cause the doctor said that my fat ass.
Hey, see you next week, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
They just jealous cause their man's always trying to get it. Wait, hold up, pause. I didn't mean it like that. Hold up, pause. Yo, let me run it back, just like that. Pull up to the scene with the cookies and the cream. Go get your own. Go help yourself. What? Grab the whipped cream. It's on the top shelf. Yeah, top of the food chain. I'm getting chest pain. Thickness I maintain. You think I'm insane? Who the hell's knocking at the door? Chinese food delivery. Never go to the store. I suck the feeling out the middle of a Twinkie. I just had Chipotle. My ass is stinky. I'm dragging all of this wagon. Caution, it's a wide load. Getting hungry again. So it's time to reload. Shove a churro down my throat. No gag reflex.
Nerd Rage Renegades.